Hello everyone, this is Eagle Owl. I thought I would do a fun video on firearms mistakes that you constantly see in movies. If you're not very well versed in firearms, a lot of the mistakes that they make, you don't even notice it. So let's go over a few of them. Okay, one of them is the old, someone has a revolver and they fire 12, 13 shots at the enemy. You watch when you're watching like a Western or something, most revolvers don't carry more than 6 shots, but you'll watch a battle going on and you'll watch them crank out 9 or 10 shots. Then obviously related to that is you'll see where in whatever firearm they're using, they're firing way more bullets than that firearm can handle. And if you know guns well, you know how many rounds typically different firearms can handle. Usually if it's like AR or AK, most of their magazines stop at 30 rounds. You can get more, but usually they typically stop at 30. So if you see someone cranking out more than 30 in a high capacity rifle like an AK, then that's also false. Here's one that's kind of one of my favorites is they're in an active battle. There's enemies everywhere that are armed and they're shooting and shooting. All of a sudden someone comes around a corner and then they like raise the gun on them. They're like, drop your gun. And the enemy doesn't listen to them. They're like, oh, you won't drop your gun? And then they pull the slide back as if to say, oh, now you'll listen. Now you know I mean business. And the reason that is so stupid, and I've seen it like 1,000 times in movies, is you're pulling the slide back to say, oh, now you really better listen because I mean business. Okay, that means you did not have a bullet in the chamber. That means if you had pulled the trigger before that little slide pull action, nothing would have happened. Who goes after an enemy who's armed and you don't have one in the chamber? Like, that is so stupid. But I've seen countless movies where like they're interrogating, one scenario is you're interrogating someone and they won't answer the question, and so then you pull the slide back. Well, that I can kind of get, because if you're interrogating someone, maybe they're tied up or whatever. But when you're in active battle and then you suddenly pull a slide back, that's pretty silly. Another one is oh, I like the one where like someone gets shot and it picks their body up and launches them backwards 10 feet and against the wall. If a bullet has enough force to launch your body back 10 feet, then it's going to have such an intense amount of force that it's just going to blast through your body. Your body weighs, let's say your body weighs 150 pounds. The bullet weighs a couple ounces. The amount of force required to push 150 pounds backwards, well, if that's coming from a little bitty bullet that weighs a couple ounces, physics would dictate that that bullet's not going to push a whole body backwards. It's hitting an isolated, very small area. It just means that's more force to zip right through you really hard. For those who don't really get physics, you probably won't get it, but that's a silly. Even when it's like a shotgun, they do it a lot with the shotgun. They hit someone with a shotgun and then their body goes flying 10 feet backwards. Your body won't go flying backwards at all. It'll just mutilate you and you'll fall down. Another one is a car's coming at you and you shoot at it with a handgun or rifle and then the whole car blows up. You probably try 1,000,000 times in a row before you could have that happen. Like, you'd have to have the perfect scenario where the gas tank gets punctured and a spark is created at the same time. Sparks are not always created when a bullet hits metal. That would be really hard to do. And even if the gas tank did burst into flames, it's not going to explode the car into a ball of flames. It's not going to pick the car up off the ground and flip it onto its hood. So, I mean, but I get it. When it comes to movies, their goal is like they have to dramatize and over-exaggerate things. Like the more intense, like it's more fun to watch in an intense scenario. Another situation is basically just you're firing guns, and with every shot the person fires, you see a big old fiery blast, circular blast come out of the end of the gun, and that don't happen very often. It's only under certain circumstances do you actually see what looks like a fireball coming out of a barrel. At nighttime it can appear that way, but it's only under certain circumstances. It's not with every gun you fired. Another thing that gets me in movies is like you attack an enemy and they got an excellent choice in weapon on them. Like you kill them, knock them out or whatever, and they just fall down and they had an AK-47 with 30 rounds still in the magazine, and you don't grab their gun. And maybe you had just your hands, or you had just a knife, or maybe you even had a pistol. If you attack an enemy and they were carrying an excellent weapon, it's like, why would you just keep on walking and leave it behind? That's another big thing. Oh, here's one that kills me. If you was around in the 80s watching a lot of the action movies in the 80s, as they would head into battle, and all the men would have like long sleeve military style jackets on. They'd have a t-shirt, a military style jacket on, and then they would have long pants on and all these accessories, and they're fully equipped and loaded up, and they're heading into battle. And if there happened to be one or two females in the group with them that are also fighting, the females would go out to battle with a bikini on and a pistol on their side. I'm like, really? The guy's got long sleeve everything, and the girl needs to go to battle in a bikini? I'm like, gee, I wonder why that was her battle gear to choose. It was her battle gear to choose because a woman in a bikini makes you watch the movie. But anyway, those are some of the crazy things that they put in movies concerning firearms that I always find kind of funny. This is Eagle Owl. Thanks for watching.